Hello.
Hello, Yusuf. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Yusuf.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Yusuf.
Yeah, it's perfect now. How are you guys
Good
doing?
afternoon, Yusuf. Good afternoon. We're doing good.
Mr. Julius, welcome back. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us again today. Welcome all the participants. Today is an exciting one because this is the final phase before we go into the finals, the main deal. And I'm really excited because I've seen all your slides and I'm super excited to see what you guys have to present. I can't wait. And this is a very important topic because it's actually the hottest topic right now. You know, everyone wants to know the impact of COVID in various areas and from different perspectives, which is what I've seen from the slides and the topics that we have. So it's very exciting today, and I want to say kudos to all you guys for your effort and hard work. I can see that already. So welcome back again on this episode of the Daytopia Presentation Competition. So we have Mr. Julius available already. Let me just count because I want us to start this as soon as possible. And so we can end it as soon as possible too, so people can go on.
While you're doing the count, can I just quickly say this? Welcome everybody.
Yes.
It's nice having everyone here. I particularly love this session because looking at people's topics, I'm so excited about it. I've seen people send topics from looking at COVID from different perspectives of life. And it's particularly, to me, very, very, very exciting. It's something that I'm looking forward to. So thank you guys for all your hard work. In fact, we are really, really excited, like so excited. To all the presenters that got to this phase thus far, congratulations, guys. And I want you all to know that whoever scales through to the next phase, it's not like you're not good enough, it's not like you didn't do well. It's just that at this point, to be honest, all of you are superstars, all of you are strong, and I'm sure that the judges are actually going to have a difficult one deciding on who to cross and who not to. And to be honest, I just want to wish all of you well, and henceforth you guys are superstars. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. Yeah. Okay, so we have Ridwan here. Ridwan, thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining in. Abdurrahman, thank you for joining in also. Khalid, thank you for coming in. Nora, thank you for coming in. Julius, thank you for coming in. Okay, so we're going to wait for a couple of minutes for to have like around 2 other mentors joining, and then we kick off. So Khalid, you're our first presenter. How do you feel? And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I hope it's not late.
It's not late. Just how am I feeling? A little tense. First presenter, but then we're giving our best shot.
But it's good to be the first person. You get it done with, and then you know that all you need to do is just watch other people present. particularly I'm excited having you as the first presenter because I know you're a strong contender. So it's like you're setting the bar. You're setting the bar high. You're setting the bar high. So people have things to look forward to.
Thank you, Adejumoke.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hope you're enjoying the Daytopia gifts.
I know.
I know, right?
Adana, nice to have you around. Nice to have you around. You have a very beautiful slides. I saw it. Is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And to be honest, I must commend you guys. I must say this. In fact, I'm seeing slides that I was wowed. Trust me, I was really wowed by your slides. Like, I'm like, how did you guys even do this? Like, oh my goodness, like you guys are wonderful. Trust me, like those slides are slides that can only be done by professionals. And looking at it, I'm so proud. I'm super proud. Like, I'm so proud, so proud. I'm excited to have you all here today. So excited. And I'm sure the judges too are looking forward to see those wonderful slides and those wonderful presentations from you guys. Okay, Mr. Daytopia, over to you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've just texted just one more mentor. So we can have the same number as we did last week. But just give me 2 minutes. So Khalid can start preparing for his slides.
Okay, Khalid, would you want to project your slides yourself?
Yes, I would like to project it myself.
Okay. All right. Okay, I was trying to explain something to Azana the other time. Now, the problem I have when I project the slides is just that due to the fact that I'm sharing it from my screen, I'm also recording from my end. I'm the host of the competition. So just when you put effect on your slides, it just makes my system kind of hang. And then I can't move it. So most of the time I have to like start all over again for me to get it done. So that's just the technicalities that we have right here. So when there are effects on the slides, it just makes the whole Zoom thing just makes it hang and all that. So I'm very sorry if any one of you had that issue with their presentation in the past. So that's just it. But when you project from your hand, because you're just a participant on the Zoom network, it's easier for you to show your slide effects and all that. But as much as I can, I would try and see what I can do to make today go easy on everyone, and so we have less technical issues today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Please, can you do me share my slide?
Oh yeah, sorry, 1 minute. There you go. Read one. It's nice to have you. You're welcome on the show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jumi. I'm really happy to be a part of this session as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Looks like anyway, let's see how it goes.
I know. My fingers are crossed already. I know. Okay, Dewale. What do you say we do?
Okay. Yeah. Khalid can go on. Sunday is joining us now. All right.
Okay, Dr. Today is joining.
Yeah.
Okay, Khalid, give me 1 more minute. I'm just going to start up your timer. So.
Okay, it's joined. All right. We're good to go.
Are you ready, Khalid?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, your time starts now.
Thank you very much for having me. Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'll be talking about, my topic is the pandemic isn't gender neutral. So basically I'll be talking about the impact of COVID-19 on the female gender. Before I move on, my name is Abdul Khalid Saliu. I'm a student of economics from Ahmadu Bello University area. So before I dive into my presentation, I'd want us to do a quick quiz, and it's going to go like this. The question will pop up, and then participants are able to read the question, unmute your mic, respond to the question between 1 to 7 seconds, and then you answer the question, and then I pop the answer pops up. So are you ready? You could unmute your mic and respond to it. So the first question goes like this. So the question is up. You can unmute your mic and tell me what you think as to the answer.
70%.
Okay.
Yeah, up to 70%.
Okay. Okay, so you picked 70%. Yeah, 70% is the correct answer. And the next question goes like this. Your responses?
For me, it's lack of personal protective equipment. The first option.
Okay.
It's all of
Any
the
other?
above for me. It's all of the
Okay.
above for me.
Yeah, for me, it's all of the above too.
Okay, so if you picked all right. So if you picked all of the above, you're pretty much correct. Next question goes like this. Your responses?
I'll go with 3 times. It's not
Okay.
3 times.
Okay. Oh, I think as if you saw the question initially. Yeah, you're pretty much correct. 3 times is the correct answer. Next question goes like this. Responses?
In the public space.
At home.
It should be at home. It should be at home.
I think it's all of the above.
Okay.
All of the above for me too.
All of the
Yeah,
above.
it's all of the above for me.
All right. All of the above is the correct answer. The next one goes like this. I think this is a tough one. Responses?
I'm not sure, but I'll go with 43 million.
Yeah, I'll go with 43 million too.
43
Yeah.
million.
That's a pretty much low number. It's way higher than that. And
Yeah, I also think that it's way higher. I'll go with the highest one. That's 243 million.
yeah, 243 million is the correct answer. And last but not the least,
I'm not sure.
your responses?
Formal workplace.
Informal sector, informal, just like the name sounds, informal. Just try.
Lack of government regulation.
Okay. Any other person?
Yeah, I'll pick lack of government regulations too.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Lack of government regulations. So the essence of this quick quiz is just to create an introduction and so we get familiar with just an introduction to the topic, and so we catch fun while learning. So talking about the impact of COVID-19 on women, I looked at just 3 angles. Ordinarily, there are numerous things, but then I just looked at the impact of COVID-19 on healthcare workers, the economic impact, and then the impact, there's this thing they call the shadow pandemic. And so when we look at the healthcare sector, globally, over 60% of employees entering the healthcare sector are largely women. When you look at the chart, about 63% entry level, that's a chart from McKinsey. And then globally also, about 70% of healthcare workers are more of females in form of nurses, midwives, and caregivers. The data that I got them from United Nations Women. And then in coming down to Africa, in Africa region, women account for about 28% of physicians and 65% of nurses. The numbers we've gotten from World Health Organizations. But then when you look at, obviously it shows that bulk number of people in the healthcare sectors are female. But then when you look at the amount of leadership, just 30% of them are leaders in the healthcare sector. So what does this data mean? So we looked at the numbers, what do they mean? So we just realized that despite the numbers, despite the numbers of women in the healthcare sector, they are less reflected in national or global decision-making regarding COVID-19 responses. And then when we look at personal protective equipment, they're usually designed and they're sized for men, leaving women at greater risk of exposure. So what can be done? Like, we've highlighted the issues, but then it's not enough to highlight the issues. What are like the solutions I would prefer? So basically, we need to prioritize female frontline workers. And how can we do that? We provide women-friendly personal protective equipment. We make sure we provide affordable menstrual hygiene products, not just affordable, but they are available. And then flexible, we make sure that healthcare workers, particularly females, their work shifts are pretty much flexible, so to ensure there's a balance for their burden of care. And then lastly, what I just preferred was we should make sure we address the cases of unpaid health workers, particularly in Nigeria. I remember during the pandemic, Nigerian Medical Association, they threatened to go on strike, and really that's not a good one at all. So let's move on to economic impact. So when you look at the first curve, the first chart, it's a chart from Facebook Future of Business Survey reports. And we look at it, it's just talking about the extent at which female businesses close relative to men. And we look at it in regions, Sub-Saharan Africa top the chart at 41%, relative to men, which is just 34%. And the same trend continues across different continents, looking at Latin America, North America, Asia, and then Europe. And then when you look at this other chart by the right, it's a chart by McKinsey. It looks complex, but it's pretty much easy. Just the main points are that the black circles and the ash circle represents female-dominated jobs, and the dark color blue and light color represent male-dominated jobs, and the largeness of the circle represents the effect on jobs. And so when you look at the chart already on an aggregate, you realize that the sectors that were most affected by women are the sectors that are affected by COVID were those sectors that were dominated by women. The charts, I got them from McKinsey. And then moving on to more facts, we realize that COVID-19, just like the charts previously explained, COVID-19 had the highest hits on sectors that were dominated by women. Talk of retail sector, leisure, hospitality, food services, etc. And then we look at informal sector. Informal sector was hit the most, because when you look at the pattern of the informal sector, when there's lockdown, they're unable to carry out their business activities because they're not able to engage in telecommuting. And so still on informal sector, 80% of women of the labor force globally are from the informal sector. Numbers are from International Labour Organization. And then bring these numbers down to Nigeria, because I'm kind of pretty much interested about Nigeria. Bring numbers down to Nigeria. When you look at labor force statistics, 51% are female and 48% are male. Now, I dig a little deeper to see the impact on informal sector. And the best thing I could use to measure that of the informal sector is level of underemployment. Just like NBS stated that it's workers who work between 20 to 30 hours per week. And so we realize that underemployment made up largely by informal sector is dominated by women at female by 31%. The reports, the numbers, I got them from Nigeria Bureau of Statistics. So now, what are the possible implications of these numbers? We've mentioned the numbers. What are the possible implications? Since the informal sector, women dominate the informal sector, we expect that, not just expect, we see that there are lack of social protection and safety nets against economic distress. So when there are shocks, because they're informal, they're not formal, it's difficult to provide social safety nets. And then another effect is that when these people lose their jobs, it increases the level of unemployment, and of course, poverty also increases. And then it increases cases of unwanted pregnancies, STDs, which is caused by transactional sex, because obviously they lose their jobs, they need to look for other means to survive. Okay, so now I would then talk about the impact of COVID-19. We've talked about the health sector, the economics sector, and now let's look at what we call the shadow pandemic. So just a quick one, 30 seconds. Who has an idea of what shadow pandemic is? You don't need to mic and just tell. What do you think the shadow pandemic is?
Pass. Or can you carry the stove for Auntie Dami? Downstairs. Okay.
Anyone? The shadow pandemic, any idea? You could just tell. What do you think it means? It's just a
Maybe
terminology.
something that is not actually the real thing, but it's coming out like a shadow or an aftermath of a pandemic. Just
All right.
out loud.
All right, nice try. Thank you very much. Anyone? Okay, so the shadow pandemic is a terminology coined by United Nations Women. And what it basically means is any form of violence against women and girls during the pandemic. That's just what the shadow pandemic means. And so I looked at the impact of COVID-19 on women regarding intimate partner violence and the likes. And so my findings were really alarming and really emotional for me. And so the first thing I realized was that on a norm before COVID-19 hit, gender-based violence, according to the World Health Organization, 1/3 of women, which is about 250 million people, females particularly, experience intimate partner violence. That was before COVID-19 came about. And so during COVID-19, calls for domestic helpline regarding intimate partner violence increased by, say, 30 to 60%. And so bringing these numbers down to Nigeria, 30% of women and girls between ages 15 to 49 have experienced sexual abuse in Nigeria. And so I looked at some reports, got some data, and then just in Nigeria alone, between March and April, number of cases of intimate partner violence.
Khalid, you have 30 seconds left.
All right, thank you. It increased by, say, 149% increase just for 23 states alone. And then bringing these numbers down, you look at this curve here, look at for states for Lagos, Ogun, it was alarming, particularly for Lagos. And then for states which we had partial lockdown, the case wasn't as alarming as that of those which were had full lockdown. And so some other effects, talking about shadow pandemic, is there are likely to be increased cases of students, child marriage, and then not only cases of child marriage. During the lockdown, you see, when they experience intimate partner violence, the lockdown restricted them from getting help and also seeking for justice. And so I gave general overviews, general suggestions on how we could mitigate the effect of COVID-19 on women. And so the first thing is we need to understand the problem. I want to understand the problem to inform a solution. And so the first thing I think we need to do is we have initiate a gender assessments. Once you understand that, it gives you a pretty much a good idea on how to carry out your solutions. And then we need to initiate programs and expand cash transfers, particularly to the female gender. And then we need to implement new measures to ensure low transactional costs in terms of low taxes for, like I mentioned, informal sector workers, electricity bills. We need to waive some part of it for workers. Well, at this point, this is where I'll draw my curtain. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've learned a lot from my presentation. Thank you very much. I have my references. I'm always happy to share upon your request. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Khalid. Your presentation was breathtaking, although you are 30 seconds above time. But it was a good one, very engaging, good one.
Thank you very
And
much.
personally, I excused it because I think you took time from waiting for the audience to respond to you and all that. But going forward, you might want to also consider that and probably limit the number of questions that you ask the audience so that you have enough time for them to give you feedbacks and all. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to give the judges 3 minutes to send in their presentation, then to send in their grades. Please send your grades either to me or send it to Yusuf. Please do not post the grades for the general participants to see, as you know, as we all do. So you'll be judging the presenters based on number 1, content and structure, number 2, delivery and confidence. So we are judging them on the scale of 1 to 10. Number 3, audience engagement. Number 4, presentation slides, overall presentation number 5. And then if you can, write them a brief feedback. Khalid is our first presenter. I was the one that just presented, and he presented on the pandemic is not gender neutral. Okay, I'm actually talking about all this, or going back to talk about all this, because we have some judges that joined while Khalid just started his presentation. So, and we are expecting their feedbacks. The more grades we have, the better for them to, have their feedbacks and all that. Okay, the presentation is 10 minutes each for each presenter, and we have 6 people presenting today. So at the end of the day, we would eliminate 3 people, and the remaining 3 people will go to the next stage. So it's 10 minutes for each presenter. Okay, the next presenter is Azana. Azana, are you ready for us? Do you still want me to project your slides from my hand?
Preferably, because my laptop here is dead.
Okay, no problem, no problem. I will do that. Okay, we'll just give the judges 3 minutes to send in their grades while I sort your slides out.
Thank you
while
very
you
much.
get ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whew.
Okay, we are waiting for just 2 more mentors to send their grades in. Welcome, Mr. Ese Awosonya. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Ese Awosonya and Professor Bolajoko are guest mentors, and they have all time been one of the sponsors of Daytopia Mentoring Program. So it's always a pleasure having them around, because even when they are not here, they are supporting us behind the scenes, supporting us. And when I mean supporting, they are supporting us financially, in every way that we need. So you're welcome, sir. Okay, I'm going to allow our Azana go on with our presentation. Professor Jobala Joko, we are waiting for your gradings, please, ma. Okay, it's in. Thank you very much, ma. Okay, Azana.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to share my screen now, so.
All right.
Send this in. Okay. Okay. You can start.
Well, this is not the beginning.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
No problem.
All right, start.
Okay. I'm Hassana Arama, a 300 level student of the Department of Industrial Design, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. My topic is the COVID-19 effects, a focus on SMEs in Nigeria. SME is small and medium scale enterprise. I'll be using this acronym often, so please. Next, please. Small and medium scale enterprise, a crucial part of the Nigerian economy. The effect of COVID-19 pandemic has been ravaging to economies and industries all around the world. Small and medium scale enterprise are some of the most badly hit by the effect of the pandemic. In Nigeria, SMEs have been identified as the drivers of the economy due to their capacity to stimulate productivity, provide employment opportunities, and improve welfare of the people. SMEs constitute about 96% of businesses in Nigeria, according to CBN. That's the Central Bank of Nigeria. It is also responsible for about 84% of employment in the country. Next, please. The struggle. Next, please. Sorry. Should I start again?
Sorry, please do start again. Sorry about that.
All right, no problem. Okay, I said I'm Hassan Arama, a 300 level student of the Department of Industrial Design, Ahmadu Bello University's area. And then my topic is the COVID-19 effect, a focus on SMEs in Nigeria. And I said earlier that SMEs is small and medium scale enterprise. And I'll be using this acronym often. Next, please. Next, sorry.
Sorry about that. Dewale will project it because it's hanging from my hand. I don't know why.
All right, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
I'll undo it now. Can you allow me share screen?
Yeah. Yeah, you can share it now.
Okay.
So preferably, okay.
Can everyone see it now? Hassan, are you okay now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, can you start now?
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to fast forward. I said my topic is COVID-19, the COVID-19 effect, a focus on SMEs in Nigeria, small and medium scale enterprise, a crucial part of the Nigerian economy. The effect of COVID-19 pandemic has been ravaging to economies and industries all around the world. Small and medium scale enterprise are some of the most badly hit by the effect of the pandemic in Nigeria. SMEs have been identified as the drivers of the economy due to their capacity to stimulate productivity, provide employment opportunities, and improve welfare of the people. SME constitutes about 96% of businesses in Nigeria, according to CBN. That is Central Bank of Nigeria. It is also responsible for about 84% of employment in the country. Next, please. The struggle. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the government was forced to implement policies which were aimed at curbing the spread of the COVID-19 virus. One of such policies was implementing a nationwide lockdown. These developments, which was quite unanticipated, affected SMEs badly because it meant that non-essential businesses were forced to close, and even essential businesses had issues with logistics and getting raw materials. Majority of SMEs were forced to lay off workers due to an inability to keep up with expenses since income has basically been cut off. Next, please. Next, please. COVID-19 pandemic ravaging SMEs. Wow. Lockdown affected SMEs badly. SMEs in industries such as fashion, tourism, leisure, aviation, manufacturing, construction, and real estate were some of the most affected, while industries such as IT, design, creative writing, finance, and a few others were able to pull through due to their ability to work remotely. Agriculture, on the other hand, being an essential industry, struggled due to logistical issues. All these challenges led to the end of some of these SMEs, while majority barely survived. Next, please. SMEs breaking borders. Some industries were able to pull through and even thrive in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic. Industries like IT, design, creative writing, and so on. These are mostly industries where services are rendered, and majority of this service can be rendered virtually or remotely. The realization that these services could be rendered virtually or remotely came to the forefront due to the limitations brought about by the pandemic. The limitations brought about by the pandemic has encouraged the use of video technology to make us closer than ever. This made the world a borderless place, a borderless marketplace, where geographical location is no longer a constraint to conducting businesses and connecting with people, making it easier for international collaborations, collaborative problem solving, also inspiring innovations such as Google Meet, Zoom, just like we're having now, and Microsoft Teams, which can be used to have virtual business meetings, making it possible for a data analyst in Nigeria to work for a company in South Korea, or a product designer from Burundi to work with a client in the United States, all virtually without even the tiniest bit of physical connection. Due to the necessity of social distancing, which has been advocated to curb the spread of the virus, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of organizations were closed, closures were locked down and at home, and there was a lot of economic and financial constraints all across the globe. Employees were hit hard in both developed and developing countries. Next, please. Potentials of working remotely. Due to COVID-19, more people are working remotely than ever before. As the pandemic subsides, many companies, I can tell you this, many companies will explore the long-term potential of working remotely. And then it was Linear Care in Forbes that said that. Remote working enhances flexibility, it increases productivity, it contributes to cost saving in workplaces. It removes geographic boundaries, allowing employers to seek talent outside the typical area without having to worry about relocation costs, which is enhancing employees, enhancing their career achievements. Next, please. Moving forward. Sadly, Nigeria has been unable to encourage SMEs development and benefits. This had made it even more difficult for SMEs to recover from the damages done by the pandemic. And then I have a few suggestions that might make SMEs move forward. So one of them is adjusting existing business model. That is adjusting existing business model. SMEs that will survive this phase will have to adapt their business models to the current reality by adjusting their business model to reflect the cost change, prioritizing their business continuity, having the need to revise and redo the old plans and even make new plans, regardless of the current crisis. Some SMEs were less impacted and in some cases recorded higher profits. And then the next one is alternative source of funding, loans and grants. SMEs have to consider if they would need external funding. You have to check your business, whether you actually need resources from other people to recover from the effect of the pandemic. Considering small business funding, such as loans from government and banks, merchants cash advances, equipment financing, partnership and alliances, grant, etc. Though these opportunities might be hard to come by due to the competitiveness of the situation. Partnerships and alliances. Sourcing for partnership might be a good way to save struggling business. Let me play a quick scenario in your head. Next, please. Mr. Choza, who owns a food processing business, was badly affected by the pandemic. In a bid to save his struggling business, he offered partnership to an old client who is a farmer. They both agreed that this alliance would be beneficial to both businesses. Therefore, both SMEs needing to form a complementary alliance by leveraging on each other's resources and capability, thereby transforming into a stronger entity that can cater to the current market demand with ease. This will assist their commercial survival while using minimal funds, also serving their communities, as well as gaining financial recovery. Next, please. Then government policies. Improved policies should be made to help take SMEs out of this trying period. Government should provide accessible loans and grants. I mean accessible because they come out to say, oh, they have grants, they have loans, but really, people can't access them. You can't access them. It's either one of their family members have access to it or whatever, but people who actually need these sources, these resources can't access them. So you have to make it accessible to SMEs, and maybe then they should improve on their infrastructural development, such as good road, steady electricity, which will help in the growth of SMEs should be prioritized. If there was lights in Nigeria 24/7, people that have to on their have to on their fuels to cut people's hair, that's maybe like the barbers, you have to on your gen. This is taken from your cost. But if there's steady electricity, this will help you gain financial recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. So, okay, quick question, please. Before I proceed, how did the pandemic affect your business or job, or the business or job of someone close to you? Please, anybody, let me repeat the question again. I said, how did the pandemic affect your business or job, or the business or job of someone close to you? Please, anybody.
It affected my own job personally because I teach, and we have to do all things virtually.
All right.
It affected my job. That's it.
Wow. Okay, so how were you able to cope with financial constraints?
Well, we coped one way or the other because we switched to virtual teachings, and it helped us scale through the COVID-19. But not all teachers were privileged in their places of work to be able to switch to that.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Sorry, next question, please. So, another person, please. What do you think could be done by SMEs to cushion the economic impact of the pandemic? Like, what do you think can be done by small business owners to like cushion the economic impact of the pandemic?
I think number one, I think the government should come in and support, like they do here in the UK, where the government gives small funds to small business owners just to make them keep them afloat during this period. So I think, to be honest, the government should come in and support.
All right. Yes. That's
I
okay.
support Dr. Jumoke on that. The government has a lot of work to do to make sure SME stays in business.
It's just that Nigeria. Okay, next, please. Then I'll advise decision-making protocols. Given the ever-changing nature of the current crisis and the limited available resources in Nigeria for SMEs, leaders need to develop, like business owners need to develop and implement decision-making protocols to be able to remain agile and respond swiftly to any change, helping you navigate through the current crisis and constructing the building blocks for the SMEs survival and future growth. Let me explain this. Like, as a business owner, I am imploring you guys to have this agility, to be able to make changes swiftly, so that it can, so when anything comes further, or when there's another contingency in front, you'll be able to navigate through it swiftly without any problem. So I think this will help in your small and medium enterprise, to help in its survival, and it will help in its future growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Azana. It was a wonderful presentation, very engaging. I love your slides. Love your slides. Thank you very much. Thank you for such a wonderful presentation. And I'm very sorry for my hand. I don't know, just kept on, my whole system kept on hanging. Well, good.
No problem.
Thank you. To pull through. Thank you very much, guys. Can we please have the mentors send in their grades?
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to add that I also loved your slides. Really nice to see that you did a lot of work on the slides. Really, really nice and engaging. Thank you, Asana.
So please, can we have the grades for Asana's presentation and if a brief feedback for her too? While the next presenter prepares for their presentation. So next we have Abib. Abib, what's going on? Are you ready for us?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm ready.
Abib, particularly, to be honest, I think your topic is the most interesting to me, and I'm waiting to actually see you present. I hope, because Khalid and Azana set the bar already for us. And I'm sure that you two are going to like let us know that, man, we are here for it.
What's on board?
Okay, we're just gonna give the mentors a couple of minutes to send in their grades. Would you like to project your screen yourself?
Yeah, of course, I'll project my slide.
Okay, all right. I'll let you know when to start. We'll just give the mentors a couple of minutes to send in their slide. So
all right, let me just share my screen now.
Okay, all right. Mr. Ese Awosanya, we are waiting for your feedback. Professor Bola Joko, we are waiting for your grading. Then Lami, we are waiting for your grading. Who else? Okay. You can start, Abib. Your time starts now.
All right. Hello, everyone. Habibullah Tunde Abdurazak is my name. I'm a penultimate sociology student of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Today, I'll be presenting on the impact of COVID-19 on the global oil market and its effect on the Nigerian foreign exchange, the lessons and the way forward. Specifically, I will talk about the impact of COVID-19 on global oil markets, how it's affected the value of Nigerian currency as an oil exporting country, and the resulting implication on the lives of people in Nigeria. COVID-19 stormed the world at an unprecedented time and almost put everything to a standstill. Its impact on all spheres of life cannot be overemphasized. More specifically, its impact on global oil market is disastrous in spite of the lockdowns, shutdowns, and movement restrictions. According to International Energy Agency, IEA, the global demand for crude oil decreases by 8.8% to 9.2 million barrels per day, as planes are grounded, cars are parked, and factories are locked. Nigeria is largely an oil-producing nation, as proceeds from oil constitute about 70% of government's earnings. The decline in oil prices puts CBN and the Nigerian government into trouble, and external reserve decreases significantly. By external reserve, I'm referring to the cash and other reserve assets held by central bank to balance payments of the country and influence the foreign exchange rates of the country. Governments run a budget deficit, I mean a negative budget, as changes in oil price wasn't expected to decrease below $40 per barrel. I would like to explain the Nigerian government the window where CBN sells for hard currencies to banks and the bureau de change guys. This window is not available to individuals. We have the investor and exporter windows, which is available for investors and is determined by market condition.
Sorry, Abib, sorry. Is it your network or is it from my hand? Because you are breaking. I don't know if it's just from my hand. And I don't want you to lose points just because you're breaking.
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. Dewale, can you hear him well from your hand?
Yeah, it's been breaking as well. But if you want to, you can restart so that.
Do you want to restart so that you don't lose marks for?
Since you give feedback that it's breaking, I would like to restart and.
Yes, please restart. Yeah.
All right. So COVID-19 stormed the world at an unprecedented time and almost put everything to a standstill. Its impact on all spheres of life cannot be overemphasized. More specifically, its impact on global market is disastrous, in spite of the lockdowns, shutdowns, and movement restrictions. According to International Energy Agency, the global demand for crude oil decreases by 8.8% to 9.2 million barrels per day, as planes are grounded, cars are parked, and factories are closed. Nigeria is largely an oil-producing country, as proceeds from crude oil constitute about 70% of government revenue and about 90% of foreign exchange earnings. The decline in oil price put CBN and the Nigerian government into trouble as external reserve decreases significantly. By external reserve, I'm referring to the cash and other reserve assets held by Central Bank of Nigeria to balance payment of the country and influence the foreign exchange rate. Governments run a budget deficit, a negative budget, as changes in oil price wasn't expected to decrease below $40 per barrel. Before moving forward, I'd like to explain the exchange rate, the exchange windows at which the Nigerian operates. We have the CBN window, which is the official window. The rate at this window is fixed and it is available to only banks and bureau de change. Individual cannot access this window. We have the investor and exporters window, which is available to investors and exporters. And the rate at this window fluctuates. It is being determined by the market condition, by the law of demand and supply. We have the parallel market rate. This is also called the black market rate, which emerged as a result of restriction to the CBN window, where people can easily get dollars and sell dollars, like we can get from these allergies on the street of Lagos and every other places. The helpless situation. In response to the oil price crisis, which affected federal government budget, influenced dollar shortage, depleted the external reserve, and elevated inflation, CBN devalued Naira by 24% from 306 Naira to 410 Naira, although the CBN website still show 379 Naira to a dollar today. That was as a result of the fact that in a session held by CBN in March, the CBN governor hinted that the Naira has been officially devalued to 410 Naira. Over the pandemic, the first devaluation took place in March 2020 from 307 Naira to 360 Naira for $1, followed by another devaluation in August from 360 Naira to 379 Naira to $1. And lastly, CBN in March, as I said earlier, that the CBN governor hinted that dollar has been devalued to 410 Naira. And a very quick question to the audience. Why do we have the recurring devaluation of Naira? Given the fact that we've been hearing all over the news that Naira is being devalued, can anyone tell what is the reason for the recurring devaluation? A very quick one.
You said it in your presentation. Most of our foreign reserve is being from oil. So as far as we still export oil and the demand for oil is dropping all over the world, the value of Naira will continue to drop.
Thank you so much. That's a very, very correct one. The reason for the recurring devaluation is that Nigeria practices a fixed exchange rate. And for any country practicing a fixed exchange rate, you need to have a very strong external reserve. So Nigeria's external reserve is very weak. It keeps decreasing, given the fact that proceeds from crude oil contribute about 90%, as I said earlier. And it's currently not going well in the oil market. Over the pandemic lockdown, it's not going well in the oil market. So I'll move forward to explain the Naira for dollar scheme. So in a bid to boost the inflow of dollars, since the external reserve proceeds from oil is not contributing to external reserve at that moment, federal government introduced the Naira for dollar scheme, and they decided to give out 5 Naira for every single dollar remitted. To me, this policy is not sustainable, and it appears to be a foul play because it's for a short-term benefit. And by giving out Naira for dollars to come in, you are helping more Naira to be in circulation, which is bad for the economy. So I would like to ask another very quick question. Does devaluation influence inflation? The currency devaluation, does it influence inflation? A yes or no answer will do. Anyone?
It's a yes. It's a yes.
All right.
Yes for me too.
Great. So the continued devaluation contributes to the rise of inflation, currently at 18.17%. Inflation is affecting the Nigerian economy largely as it decreases standard of living and also increase the poverty rate. The lesson learned from this event are just 3 for the sake of this presentation. A mono economy is a one-way economy. And a diversified economy is a very, very good one. It will hedge the economy to hedge losses, regardless of whatever happens. The Naira for dollar scheme is for a short-term benefit because the federal government doesn't, the CBN doesn't plan to continue that till eternity. They are going to stop it in the next few months. And also, the exchange system practice is not sustainable. Leaving the fate of Naira at the discretion of CBN, who manages wrongly, is not good for the economy. The way forward. The first recommendation I will give is diversification. A diversified economy creates a sustainable growth cycle, and this can be best done by encouraging industrialization. And before industrialization, you have to ensure that access to raw materials are taken care of. You have to ensure that the infrastructure of the country is also okay. And lastly, the second recommendation would be for the government to maintain a floating exchange rate. A strategic and gradual floating system will be the best option, rather than leaving the decision on the exchange rates to be at the CBN discretion, who manage it wrongly. Conclusively, COVID-19 pandemic caused major disruption to the Nigerian economy and its financial strength through its overdependence on crude oil. Consequently, it affects the lives of all that exists within the economy negatively. And the obvious fact as regards to this one is decrease in purchasing power, given that Naira is being devalued, and also the ever-flying inflation figures, which almost put the entire masses into abject ululation. Thank you. Here are my reference, and also thanks for listening.
Thank you, Abib. I sent you a message. You see it?
I'll check it.
Okay. One of the mentors asked the question, and I want you to shed light on it before we move on. Okay, but thank you for the wonderful presentation. It was a good one. I liked your slides. I liked your confidence. Thank you very much. Okay, please, can we have mentors send in their grades now? So Abib, one of the mentors asked that, can Abib please explain the Naira for dollar scheme when he finishes his presentation?
All right. I get the question. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. The Naira for dollar scheme is a strategy employed by the CBN in order to boost inflow of dollars. They decide to give 5 Naira for every single dollar remitted into the country. For example, I have a brother abroad who sends dollar to me. Let's say he sent $100, meaning on each of these dollars, I will get 5 Naira from bank. 5 Naira times 100, I'll get that amount, and I also get my dollar completely. So it's a way to boost inflow of dollar in order to increase the strength of our external reserve, since dollar are not much flowing in from our crude oil, which we so much depend on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that explanation. Okay, that doesn't the question is just the question outside Khalid's presentation. Sorry, Abib's presentation, and it doesn't affect his grade in any way. So please, can we have the grades in?
No, it doesn't affect the grade.
For Khalid. Yes, ma. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much. Okay, Nora, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am.
Would you want to project your screen, or you would want it to be projected for you?
I would want it to be projected for me.
Okay. Dewale, can you please project Nora's screen? We still have a couple of mentors that have not sent in Abib's grade. Can we have Abib's grade in so we can move on to Nora?
I finished. No, no, maybe put. Come.
Sorry, almost here. Okay, Nora, your presentation is very close to my heart, as I'm very always interested in mental health, and I'm looking forward to your presentation. I'm hoping you kill it just the way everybody else has been killing it.
Hopefully.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Nora Uchenna Osai, a 300 level student from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Department of Sociology. I'll be speaking on the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on mental health of undergraduate students in ABU Zaria. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
February last year, my classmates and I celebrated joyously because we believed that by this time, this year we should be rounding up our undergraduate program, but we're totally wrong about that because something bigger than us struck, and which was the pandemic. The pandemic provided many challenges for lecturers, for students, parents, everyone entirely. The COVID-19 resulted into closing down of schools, social distancing, isolation, which created a lot of stress for students, as evacuating the dormitories, and cancellation of planned activities such as graduation ceremonies, presentations, seminars, among others. The pandemic also created new stresses, which include fear and worry for oneself and loved ones, constraints on physical movement and social activities, sudden and radical changes in lifestyle. The virus outbreak also documented more stresses, such as fear of infection, frustration, stigma, boredom, inadequate supplies, and depression. I chose this topic because during the pandemic, I carried out a survey on the mental health of students. I mean, the effects of COVID-19 on mental health of students through the conversation I had with some of my friends and my classmates. Next slide, please. This is Ryan Jones. Life during the pandemic wasn't easy for Ryan. At first, he was stunned when the COVID-19 forced his school, Ahmadu Bello University, to close down. And as a result of that, he suffered from mental strain due to the disruption. Ryan is a 25-year-old psychology student who hated to be on lockdown. And so constantly he thought about when this pandemic was going to end and how he could return back to his usual lifestyle. And so because of this, he suffered from emotional stress, anxiety, and then he also lost focus. During this period, his mom fell ill. So with all that is going in the world and then his personal life, he gave room for negative emotions. Next slide. Now to the effects of COVID-19 on mental health, one of which is lack of concentration. Next slide, please. As a result of the pandemic, most students could no longer concentrate on any task. There was absolutely no focus because of the rate of bereavement, isolation, loss of income. All these were triggering mental conditions, and gradually it led to emotional trauma, it led to stress and sleeping disorder. Next slide, please. Another thing COVID-19 did was to increase health-related issues. There are students who have special education needs, such as those who have autism spectrum disorder. They became very frustrated and short-tempered because their daily routine were disrupted. Autism spectrum disorder is a complex developmental condition that involves persistent challenge in social interaction, speech, and nonverbal communication, as well as repetitive behavior. COVID-19 also increased neurological and mental complications such as agitation, stroke, and delirium. Next slide, please. Now that brings me to the question of, during the pandemic, was there anyone who was actually scared of contracting this virus?
Of course, I'm very scared of contracting the virus.
Okay, so you see that because of this pandemic, there was a large number of people who were scared of contracting the virus. Personally, each time I went out to get something and I returned, if there's a slight fever or probably I'm kind of running temperature, the next thing that comes to my mind is, are you sure I've not contracted this virus? Maybe because I spoke to the cashier, or maybe because we exchanged money and all of that. So there was a constant fear in everyone. And then everyone was overly conscious. You couldn't just speak to someone freely. You can't even start close to someone as a result of the fear. Next slide, please. Another thing COVID-19 did was it created financial setback. As a result of the pandemic, there were a lot of unexpected trips to the hospital, a lot of pain. because of lost that very source of income. And for people who don't even have idea of personal finance, you know what that is going to be like. Of course, they're going to suffer a lot because it's more like going back to square one and starting everything all over again from the very beginning. Now that brings me to my next slide. Dr. Tedros, the Director General of the World Health Organization, said something. He said, good mental health is absolutely fundamental to overall health and well-being. Yes, we all faced this pandemic with hope, with courage, with bravery. So in as much as we try to look at physical well-being, it is very important for us to also look at our mental well-being and take care of it. So I have a question for my audience. I believe in my mentors and the mentees. So I'm expecting and I'm hoping that I'll get great answers. What advice do you have on mental health for students of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria?
Thank you very much, Nora. I think for me, to be honest, like you said in your presentation, COVID-19 has affected all of us one way or the other. But like people overlook or don't really focus on is the fact that it has more effect on students actually, because a lot of things has been disrupted. Your life, you can't even have a plan for your life because you're taken aback, you understand? So, and
Yes.
but for me, I just feel like one of the things that could make a student have a good mental health during this time is to engage in other things, like just get yourself engaged in other things. At this time, this is the time you are meant to take this opportunity and invest in yourself more. And even if I know that yes, we all have plans for our life. Oh, I plan that in the next 2 years I'm going to be graduating and I'm going to go for that job and all that. This is also a time whereby you can use to focus on yourself, do more of what you love to do, more of you, and engage. Spend time with friends, spend time with family, and with that, you would have a good mental health outcome.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, in the absence of none, thank you very much, Dr. Jumi, for your contribution, and thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you very much, Nora. Your presentation was straight to the point. Was no drama, and I liked it. I like simple. I like not complicated. Which was good for me. Okay. Thank you very much for such a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Can we have mentors sending their grades in for Nora? Nora is our fourth presenter. We have 2 more presenters to go. Musa is coming up next, and then Lukman is our final.
Sorry, am I still sharing my screen?
No,
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, Musa, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am.
Do you want me to project your screen or you want to do it from your end?
No, I will project it first.
Okay, all right.
Dr. Jimmy, can I quickly ask a question or pass a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, just looking at the title of Nora's presentation, it looks as if maybe what I was expecting was to tell me things that were happening with Ahmadu Bello University, but it was as if she was presenting generally on mental health and other factors for everybody. I don't know, that's my opinion. Maybe I missed something out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Nora can answer that. Nora, do you want to answer that?
Okay. The survey I actually carried out last year was basically on the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on the mental health of students here. And those were what I got from the students I had the conversations with.
Okay, all those effects you are presenting to us were their responses.
Yes, and also that the case study that I portrayed was also someone's experience during the lockdown.
Okay, though what I like in your presentation, in the slides, I mean, you at least you were quoting where those pictures were obtained from. That's very good. But they're not really your own idea, but at least they were supporting what you were presenting. And I like your confidence in presentation quite a bit. It's just I was now a bit confused. Are these all responses from your study or what, or just general observation? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, like Professor Balajoko said, I think one thing that is always missing, what has always been missing in your presentation, guys, is the fact that anything and I think I've put this feedback on many of your feedbacks that I send back to you. Anything you use that is not yours in your presentation has to be referenced. You know, the other day, I think it was Azana that made put a video of in our presentation, and Dewale was asking me that where can he get the video? You know, that's the reason why you reference stuff like that, so that when people want to go back and look at your stuff, it's easy for them to access where you got it from. You could be sued for copyright issues if you don't reference or give kudos or reference to whose material that you are using. It's as simple as if you reference a book in your presentation, you need to let them know where you got it from or where they can get it. Pictures, video links, and all that. It's very, very, very important. And Nora, your presentation was good, but you're just like, personally, I would have loved to see more data, more raw data from your survey. But it was a good presentation. Okay, you'll get your feedback at the end of the day, so you know where to develop yourself more for your next presentation. Okay, Musa, when you are ready, we are ready for you. Okay, Musa, I'm going to start your time now.
All right.
Okay, your time starts now.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Do you know that a study conducted by Pan-American Health Organization and World Health Organization found out that over 361 million videos were uploaded on YouTube in the first 30 days of the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak, and about 19,200 articles were published in Google Scholar since the pandemic started. I know how difficult it can be to navigate through all this whirlwind of speculations, hoaxes, false information, and misleading content at the moment. This is why I decided to present on the topic COVID-19 epidemic, a harmless illusion or inevitable reality. My name is Musa Adamu Al-Qasim, a 300-level student of international studies from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Today, I intend to shed light on the illusions and the realities that accompany the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact it had on us. Before I proceed, I would appreciate if anyone can tell me about a common rumor or myth you know about COVID-19.
That it was mixed in the lab and it was
thanks,
sent
Musa.
around.
Okay. All right, thanks, Musa. I heard that it's already everywhere in the country before even checking online to see the figures.
For me, I heard that it originates from China, although there is no concrete evidence yet.
Wow. Okay. Thank you all for that. So now I'm going to tell you how all these rumors are myths aid the spread of the pandemic. Before that, let's meet Prof. Joe. Professor Joe is a retired lecturer in his late 60s. One day, Professor Joe put on his data connection to see what is going on online, and upon opening his WhatsApp, myriad of messages begin to pour in, majority of which were similar, all talking about COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus, etc. Similar notifications were pouring in from Twitter, Facebook, and other online newspapers he subscribed to. Prof. Joe felt apprehensive about the situation, finding it difficult to make sense of all the information. He called his son, John, who is a medical doctor, asking for clarification about the myriads of information he has been receiving. His son asked him to calm down and said, what you just experienced is called infodemic, which is normal in this type of situation. In the following slide, we shall see how the son educated his father about infodemic and its implications. Now, let's look at what is infodemic. Infodemic was recently used by the World Health Organization. Put it simply, it means that there's so much information out there about the coronavirus that we don't even know which one to believe anymore. These informations are usually misleading and incorrect. Why is it a problem? It is a problem because fear and love are powerful motivators. When we are faced with a global pandemic like coronavirus, people tend to share information because they are scared and want to keep loved ones safe. It's our natural instinct to try and be helpful and warn others as well. But believe you me, when you share the wrong information, we end up causing more harm than good. Having understood what infodemic is, let's now see where it emanates from. Where is the root of all these informations coming from? They are from two major places. The first one is disinformation, while the second one is misinformation. Infodemic, you may have had these two terms used interchangeably to talk about the infodemic, but there is an important distinction when it comes to what is being created, why it is created, and how it's spread. And if we are going to make sense of the infodemic, we need to understand them. Now, for this information, it means when people intentionally create false or misleading information to make money or to have political influence, damage someone's reputation, or maliciously cause trouble or harm. While misinformation, on the other hand, is usually done on goodwill. It is often done in order for you to help someone. So it is a kind of information you share to help people. Meanwhile, you don't know that the information is wrong or misleading. Amidst these two, we have what is called the deceptive six. These are type of content that you commonly find during the in the infodemic. Now, the first one I have there is satire. Satire is used strategically to spread rumors and conspiracies. When you challenge it, the person will be like, no, this is just a joke. I never meant it. If you look at the first picture here, it is this is a Facebook post by a satirical website called The Science Post. You can see what they wrote there. They said, we didn't expect the COVID-19 biological weapon to work so fast, says China. You can imagine China saying that. The second one is false connection. This is when you see a headline or photo that is designed to make you want to click. It's usually like a bait. The aim of this one is to kind of create traffic for that website. In a study conducted by Columbia University at the French National Institute, they found out that 59% of all the links shared on Twitter were not opened first, meaning that people tend to share them without even reading past the headlines. Then, thirdly, I have a manipulated content here. A manipulated content is when something genuine is altered. Here, the aim of this one is just try to manipulate the content. For instance, if you look at the picture I put in here, this is the Sino-Sudanese visit on the 3rd of February 2020. The Sudanese Minister for Foreign Affairs and the Chinese ambassador to Sudan met to discuss the coronavirus outbreak. In the next couple of weeks, you'll believe what happened. The photograph of that meeting were photoshopped to show the Sudanese minister wearing a face mask. The image were shared widely on social media, including comments like, Africans don't want to take the chance with these Chinese guys. Then we have the misleading content as well. So this misleading content, what they actually does is that misleading content from the name misleading, these are kind of content that are usually hard. They are hard not to crack because before you can be able to deduce that they are misleading. For instance, if you look at the picture here, this is a picture of a World Pop project at the University of Southampton, which published a study in February estimating how many people may have left Wuhan before the region was quarantined. When tweeting a link to the study, they chose a picture which mapped global air traffic routes and traveled to the entirety of a picture that actually shows the number of people that move out of the world. This terrifying map was then published by various Australian and British news outlets without verifying it, although the World Pop Project later deleted this misleading tweet, but the damage has already been done. Then the next one I'm having here is the imposter content. What the imposter content is that it plays on our emotions. Brains are always for heuristics to help us understand information. Seeing a brand or a person that we already know is a very powerful shortcut. If you look at this picture here, this is an imposter Twitter account posting as what BBC breaking news service to spread false information about COVID-19. Then the last one I'm having here is the false context. This term is used to describe content that is genuine but has been wrapped and reframed in a dangerous way. This is one of the most common trends relating to the infodemic, and it is very, very easy to produce, because all it takes is to find an image, video, or old news story and reshare it to fit that particular narrative. The picture here is a debunked viral video allegedly showing the food market where the coronavirus originated from. So now, after consuming all this content I mentioned above, what happened at the end? It leads to crisis. According to management study, crisis is a critical event or point of decision which, if not handled in an appropriate and timely manner, may turn into a what? Disaster. So now, when you are in crisis, what happened? According to healthline.com, a flood of epinephrine, norepinephrine, and other hormones causes changes in the body, which may result into increase in heart rate and blood pressure, dilation of the pupils, constriction of veins in the skin, increase in blood glucose, and other non-essential systems. So then, when all this happened, something eventually it results in something else, which is what we call the fight or the flight mode, which according to Neil M. Nemack, MD, the Body and Soul Connection, the MD of Body and Soul Connection, he has this to say about the fight and flight response. He said, when our fight or flight system is activated, we tend to perceive everything in our environment as a possible threat to our survival. We may overreact to the slightest comment. Our fear is exaggerated. Our thinking is distorted. Fear becomes the lens through which we see the world. What this is actually telling you is that when you are in a crisis, it is either you go hard or you go home. Now, let's look at some of the illusions about COVID-19, the illusions that infodemic brought as a result of COVID-19, just the way you mentioned some of them earlier. The first one here is one of the most popular. They used to tell us that rinsing your nose regularly with saline solution prevents COVID-19. It is a rich man disease. Eating garlic prevents it. It can be transmitted through mosquitoes. UV bulbs used for disinfecting can be used to kill COVID-19. It can be transmitted. It can be transmitted in cold climates and in hot, humid climates. Digital thermometers and the rest. These are all different kind of illusions. They are too numerous to be enumerated, but I'm just going to let you see this. Notwithstanding all these illusions, the following will give you a glimpse about some realities about this infodemic. According to Pan American Health Organization, over 361 million videos were uploaded on YouTube in the first 30 days of the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak, and about 19,200 articles were published in Google Scholar since the pandemic started. A study conducted by YouTube Analysis found out that 69 videos were analyzed. 27.5% of the videos contained non-factual information and had over 62 million views, meaning the spread of the public meaning spread of public worries and panic to approximately the same number of people. In the United States of America, they found out that around 2/3 of the participants that participated in a survey were worried about getting infected and the source of medical help should they be needed. Another study that was conducted in Iraq found out that fear and panic about COVID-19 were higher among the social media users, and it has negatively impacted the mental health status of approximately half of the social media users in the country. WHO held another conference on the 11th to 13th of June 2019. It reminded the world that increased vaccine hesitancy coupled with by the anti-vaccination group is a serious threat in controlling this. Now, let's look at some of the impacts of the COVID-19. Distrust, confusion, psychological distress, more misunderstanding of COVID-19, fear and tension. Now, lastly, I'm going to give you a takeaway. If there's anything you need to take away from this COVID-19 pandemic, then it's the fact that not all research is created equal. Just because something is presented in a chart or a table doesn't mean the data behind it is solid. Therefore, endeavor to stop, investigate the source, find better coverage, and trace claims or quotes and media to the original context. Because COVID-19 pandemic is not just an harmless illusion that people think it is an inevitable reality we can't run away from. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Musa. Thank you very much. You're a little bit over time, but still within range. Um, I love your slides. Your slides were very, very good. I love the graphics, the pictorial illustrations you're trying to bring in there. I love it. The only thing I would have loved more is your pace was a little bit fast, and it was difficult for me to follow through with your slides and your pace. But aside that, your presentation was good. Okay. Can we have the mentors send in their grades? Thank you very much, Musa. You've been doing very well all through this program, and I'm so proud of you. Mimi, you raised up your hand. Where is she? Okay, I thought she did. Okay. Okay. Okay, while we wait for okay. While we wait for feedbacks to come in, Sarah, I just because just for us to just wait for feedbacks in. Sarah, do you want to just give Musa your thoughts, your feedbacks on what's on his presentation? Just let's hear from you.
Sorry, Sarah says she's indisposed at the moment. She can only hear us, but she can't. She has a noisy background.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Let's have Ridwan. I love Ridwan's feedback. Ridwan, do you want to give Musa just a brief feedback while we wait for other mentors to send in their grades? Ridwan, are you there?
Hello,
Yeah.
Dr. Jimmy. So I'm here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so for Musa, I mean, beautiful presentation. The slides were nice. Really, it was really engaging because I followed through the presentation from beginning to the end. The only thing I think it could just work on is so when you are coming for this kind of presentation, you know the time that has been allotted to you, so it's just to ensure that you're able to do whatever you want to do within the allotted time, so that you don't overrun the time that's allotted to you. But it was a beautiful presentation. I liked it. Then I liked the introduction, the scenario we were able to print, we were able to create in our mind in terms of misinformation and what's the other one? Misinformation and disinformation. So it was a good presentation. I liked it.
Thank you very much, Ridwan. Personally, I love intelligent presenters, and I think Musa is a very intelligent presenter. You know, his slides shows that he thought through his presentation and he put in. Yeah. Okay, so Lukman, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you want to project your slides, or you would want us to do that for you?
Yeah, I'll share it myself.
Okay. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Okay, can I start?
Yeah, your time starts now.
All right. Good day, everyone. My name is Lukman Yusuf, a sophomore student of Insurance and Actuarial Science from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. And to begin, I would urge us all to get our pens and jotters down, as I will be taking us discussing on the 5 lessons COVID-19 has taught the world. If someone would have approached us 2 years ago and told us that in 2020, the country will essentially shut down for 3 months, that the busiest roads in the cities across the world will be empty of traffic, that schools and colleges would close for an entire semester and blockbuster releases will be put on hold indefinitely. We probably wouldn't have believed them. Due to the impact of COVID-19, we have all changed this year. We have lived through historic times, and it's nearly impossible to experience something of this magnitude without it having an effect. At the early stage of the pandemic, the tales of planned mass shutdown, cancellation of physical activities, mass deaths, and the highly contagious virus sounds like scenes from science fiction movies. People predicted and imagined stuff like zombie invasions, isolated cities. While some of these might have come to pass, this was what actually happened. We experienced mass job losses, lockdowns, pressurized healthcare systems, and business closures. There is no doubt COVID-19 has left a blow on almost all sectors of the world economy. But now that most lockdowns have ended and life is starting to return to normal in many countries, or at least, let's say, a warped variation of normal, let's take a few moments to reflect on some life lessons we can learn from living under the lockdown. I'm saying this because as an optimist, I believe there is always something to learn from any situation or conditions we find ourselves. And to prove that I'm not alone on this, I would like to throw a question to my audience. Just one person, please, preferably a mentee. Can anyone volunteer? Hello, can you guys hear me? Just one person to volunteer.
Yes,
all right.
Yeah.
In one or two sentences, all right. In 1 or 2 sentences, can you please tell me a lesson you've learned during the COVID-19 pandemic? Just one lesson in 1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah. The lesson I learned is that change is inevitable.
Wow, that's brilliant. Now, you will all agree with me that irrespective of the disadvantages COVID-19 came with, there are still some worthy lessons to be learned. But before we dive into these lessons, I still have some more questions. This time, the floor is open to anyone, both the mentors and the mentees. Was there any person you wish you could be with, places you wish you could go, things you wish you could do during the COVID-19 pandemic? Just a yes or no reply will do.
Yes, Lukman.
Okay, great. So this takes us to our first lesson, which is to be appreciative. Before the pandemic, we usually complained about a lot of things: work, school, people, and even the nature around us. We were indifferent about the benefits and relevance of the things we take for granted and the people we get to meet on a daily basis. But when daily rituals and routines we have all taken for granted are disrupted by an intermediate period of time, it lends a new sense of appreciation for the small things in life. The second lesson is to be innovative. Nobody ever imagined that majority of our activities will be moved online, not even this current meeting we are holding now. Although Skype existed pre-pandemic, but was not common among the masses. Today we have Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, all for teleconferencing. And in the fintech space, we saw a lot of boom, the rise of Flutterwave, CUDA, and much more. Number 3, next lesson, the importance of family. When the federal government mandated that all businesses close their physical stores unless they were deemed essential, many of us were forced to confront the reality that very few things in life are actually essential. The raging pandemic turned reality upside down. Suddenly, those events that we usually attend, those shows, those weekly manicure, shopping, spa, and gymming that we thought we couldn't live without, seemed silly, frivolous, and completely unnecessary. COVID-19 forced us into our homes with our immediate family. We quickly learned what is truly important in life, which is family, friends, health, happiness. Everything else became secondary. The next lesson, self-reliance. Now, this is one aspect I am particularly interested in. For young students like me, being at home and not in school meant little or no income. I will have to survive on what was given to me by my parents or probably source for income for myself. The pandemic, you will all agree with me, made an entrepreneur out of most students. The border closure and strict lockdowns came with a lot of lessons for countries that rely heavily on imports. For a country like my country, Nigeria, the pandemic helped us see the need to invest in education, agriculture, and healthcare. Education in the sense that educates the citizens on, how to, come up with good vaccines, just like the Western countries are doing. Individuals also saw the need to break away from relying on friends and family for survival, as there was limited resources to go down. And the last lesson on my list is the need to save and invest. According to fortune.com, nearly 100,000 establishments that temporarily shut down due to pandemic are now out of business. During the pandemic, a lot of firms went out of business. Many jobs were lost. Those whose jobs remained suffered pay cuts. We know we have heard of the story of Messi in Barcelona during the time of the pandemic. He suffered pay cuts from, I think, about 50% or so. I'm not sure about that. Firms in non-essential services classification were totally grounded with no incoming revenue. Savings, investment, and government incentives became the only road for survival. As we can see, airlines were supported with incentives, with palliatives just to help them, survive. It was during the COVID-19 that we understood what is meant by saving for rainy days. In conclusion, I would like to talk about coronavirus in conclusion. The coronavirus shows us how terrible it really is to waste our lives, embroiled in endless battles for wealth and status and power. How terrible it really is not to recognize the value in the people around us, not just our family and friends, not just colleagues and fellow citizens, but also complete strangers. How terrible it is not to give our lives meaning every hour of every day by honoring the sacredness of life and according all living things the respect, sensitivity, and care that they deserve. I would like to thank you all for listening. My name is Lukman Yusuf once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lukman. Thank you. Your presentation was a very good one. It's quite simple, but straight to the point. Thank you very much. Julius, do you want to say something about Lukman's presentation?
Hey, Dr. Jimmy, I was about typing my comments and you took it out of my mouth. I like how he kept the topic very simple and relatable. It was nice. He has this calm effect in his voice, which I love a lot. And he delivered well. I won't have much to say than that. He delivered well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julius. Thank you. Okay, please. Can we have the mentors send in their grades? Then we can collate the final grades, and then we know who is in and who is not in. I don't want to say who is out, but who is in and who is not in. Okay, can I first say congratulations and a big thank you to everyone that has presented today. We don't I feel like we don't say it much enough, but you guys are amazing and you guys are really good. You are very, very good. Thank you very, very, very much for the wonderful presentation. Okay, so while we collate the grades, can Dr. Tunde give the presenters feedback? If there is a particular person you would like to give a personal feedback, you could mention their names, or if you would just like to give a general feedback to all of them. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So, I mean, it's been great all the while. I must commend the efforts of the participant. I mean, it's not easy putting all these stuff together. So they've really gone above and beyond, so to say, to do this. So well done and good job, guys. The last presenter, I mean, it was really good and concise, you know. So I loved it. I love the slides. I love the delivery. I love the confidence. I love the analogy. I mean, it was great. So well done, Lukman. So I would love to appreciate you guys. You got a very good job, and love to wish those who will be going to the next day good success. Thank you.
Okay, Ridwan, you wanted to say something.
Yes,
Dr. Jimmy,
Dr.
when the floor is free, please call me.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
Dr. Jimmy,
Ridwan,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to give this comment because I have an engagement and I just had to stay back to listen to this presentation.
Thank you very much, Ridwan.
So I
Thank
just
you.
want to quickly give my comment. So, and then I'm not even sure I want to stay to the end. I don't want to know who is making it to the next.
I know.
I think everybody are putting, I mean, they've all put in very massive effort into this. And then it will be difficult not to see anybody make it through to the next because everybody did well as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Everybody did.
Yes.
So my general comment just maybe to ask everybody this question first. Did you pay someone for the slides? How did you guys?
I know.
Colin, Asana, Habib, Musa, Nora, Lukman. Did you guys design these slides yourself? Or did you get someone to do it?
Yeah, no, we actually designed it ourselves.
Oh my goodness.
So these are very, very nice slides. Very nice slides. Very nice slides. I mean, I've been in my car for about 2 hours now, just listening to your presentation, and then I'm looking at the slides, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. You guys did very well. I have to commend you guys for what you have done, and then I wish you guys all the best. I think everyone that has made it this far deserves to move to the next, but again, it's really competitive. I don't even want to stay to know who's going to make it and who's not going to make it. So I just want to say well done to you guys. You guys have done very well. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Ridwan. Thank you so much. Honestly, you just speak the words out of my mouth. That was the same thing that came to my head looking at their slides. Like, God, these guys are professionals. Okay, Professor Bolajoko, the floor is yours, ma.
Okay. I think what this person that spoke now said is part of what I wanted to say. That actually I was dazed with the slides. They all did well. So whoever moved forward, you know that it's just, let me say, luck, because I had some difficulty in scoring these people. Number one. Number two, why is there no Unilag? Why are they all ABU?
Because we are naturally ahead.
Okay now. Thank you. It's really, I to have learned a lot. Like, oh, so I can even make slides this beautiful. It's just that when we're doing educational presentation, we are limited as to what we can use. But I think with what I've seen today, one can still put some talking pictures.
Yes.
I really congratulate all of them. They are all winners as far as I'm concerned.
To be honest.
It's just that some people have to step down and some people have to move on.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Mr. Ese Awosonya, would you like to give comments, feedbacks to all the presenters here today?
I want to really say congratulations to everybody. And again, one would have looked at it and say, ask questions, whether they are really undergraduates, because the way they did their presentation was so amazing that one could not just try to see that these guys are like the other question. Maybe they paid for somebody to do it for them. But again, you see it that they defended and did a presentation that shows that they really know what they are doing. Though my own general thing was that they were scored based on the fact that not on the contents of what they do. We do have a bit of what the presentation is and the knowledge that is in it. But I mean, on the way they can generally present and on the way they have looked seriously at this. They worked so hard to make sure that this is up to something that is more beneficial to those that did not even participate. I want to congratulate everybody. And I say again that God will continue to be with all of you and grant you success in whatever you are doing. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Amen.
I appreciate
Amen.
I appreciate the mentors, the mentees, and the people that even devoted their time for all this.
Yes.
I think I thank everybody.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. It's always an honor to have you here, and we really appreciate your support both in and out of Daytopia. We are really grateful. Thank you, guys. To be honest, it breaks my heart to actually let anyone go. I was asking Dewale, I said, do we have to actually let somebody go? Can't all of them enter the next round? Because to be honest, to be fair with you, even if you didn't make it to the next phase, trust me, like it's probably just a 0.5 thing, or not even up to not even up to that. I'm telling you, like the scores are really, really, really close. Like they are so close, and it's not like you're not enough. It's not like you didn't do well. You are great, but it's just that some people have to go. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to hand over the mic to Mr. Daytopia himself, and he would be letting us know what the final grade is. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Adejumoke, for hosting a great session again. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I want to, the mentors have said a lot there already, and I'm just probably going to add to what has already been said. It's so great to see this amount of quality in presentation, from the slides to the delivery to the confidence. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of things. And the good thing is that as we progress, I was seeing higher scores in each participant, which really soothes my heart to make so it makes me feel like we have actually been doing a great job, and people have been developing, which is great to see. I'm really pleased with every one of you guys, all the 6 participants today. I'm really pleased. You guys have been doing great from the start. I just want to point out that Nora and Musa, they've been the top participants from phase 1 to phase 3. I just wanted to acknowledge that and to say you guys have been doing so well. You guys are amazing, from the presentation slides, like I said, to the audience engagement. You guys have brought it on. So, kudos to you guys, and kudos to all the participants as well for taking so much time, like Ridwan said, to cook up this kind of presentation slides. This is the kind of presentation slides that you use to collect $1 million contracts in businesses. So you guys are doing so great. And the essence of Daytopia anyway is for us to, cultivate, the skills that are required in the real world, that we can use in the real world to even be better at our career and in life in general. So this is great to see. I don't want to talk too much. This is the difficult part where I have to let some people go.
Yes, we're waiting. The grade.
Unfortunately, so I'm just gonna announce the grades, and like we said, 3 people will be progressing to the final stage, and then sadly the other 3 won't be joining us for the final stage of the competition. But like I said, you guys have done really great so far. Amazing. So for the first, we have Lukman, which is 316. Well done, Lukman. Second, we have Abib, which is 315.5. Well done, Abib. And the third, and the third person who will be joining us for the final phase, who will be presenting this same time next week, will be Khalid with 314.5. Well done to you guys. Congratulations. And I'm proud of everybody. Asana has 314. So you can see that with just 0.5, Khalid led Asana with just 0.5, and Nora 311, and Musa 307 this time. So you can see how close it was, and I'm really so proud of you guys. Well done, you guys. Congratulations to all the 6 participants. You guys are already champions. You guys already won in my heart. So you guys did great. So congratulations to the 3 participants that will be competing for the final round, and then we can have a Daytopia champion for the year. And congratulations to Nora, Asana, and Musa as well. Sadly, you guys won't be joining us for the next phase, but you guys have done great.
You know what makes my heart so heavy is the fact that Nora and Musa have been locking it down all through this competition, and it's so sad that they won't be making it to the final stage. Like I feel so sad, like deep inside of me, like wow. To be honest, it's painful. It's very painful, and it's sad to actually know that the difference between Khalid and Azana is just 5 points, just 0.5. It's not even just 0.5. It's but
Yeah, it happens. It's a competition, so such things happen. But you guys, I've seen great improvements in you guys, and well done to you guys. Congratulations to everybody. So hopefully we'll see. Next week will be very interesting because I'm going to explain what next week will be about anyway. So next week is going to be very interesting. Is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is always a very interesting topic anyway. So you guys are going to create a fictitious business and present how you are going to use a startup fund of $100 for the business. So it's like pitching. You are going to pitch an idea to the investors. Our mentors will be the investors, and then at the end of it, the investors will pick who they would like to invest in, and that will be our winner. So it can be it can be fictitious. So what I mean is the amount that you want to put in the business has nothing to do with anything. So you can pick any amount, and it's just about seeing how you present a pitch to investors. So that's what we want to see. You can put Naira to buy whatever. The capital can be 10 Naira. I'm just saying, because it's not about making it real, but it's about how you present yourself, how you present the business idea, how you pitch it to the investors.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to see next week.
I would advise that if you before I ask Khalid to talk, I would advise that if you guys are very familiar with the program Dragon's Den, or what's the other one? What's the British one?
Yeah,
Shark Tank. Yeah, those are platforms whereby you can learn how to pitch your ideas and all that. When you are coming here, don't just come. We need your financials. We need to know if I'm going to be investing now. The audience, the mentors are just going to be voting. I'm investing. I'm not investing. I'm investing. I'm not investing. That's going to be it. Because apparently at this point we know that you guys are good. We know that you know your content. So this time around is just I'm investing. I'm not investing. And the presenter with the highest investor will be the one who has the prize. So look for programs that or go check presentations on YouTube whereby people present their pitch to investors, and then okay. Khalid, let me have your question.
All right, actually it's Habib, and I
sorry, Habib.
For a clarification. Dr. Yusuf mentioned that we'll present how you are gonna use a startup fund of $100, and subsequently he says that we can put any amount we want. So I want a clarification as regards to that.
Okay. What I mean by that is that so the amount you put in for your capital, for probably your operations, salaries and stuff like that, they have nothing to do with the real world. So what I mean is you have a startup fund of 100. So try to apportion that 100 to the other parts of the business so that it can be, so you can say you are paying a salary of $20. We as investors are not going to look at it that this does not make sense. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can put any amount in it. So basically that's it. But the amount should be, the total amount should be 100. So what are you going to use $100 to do for your business? How are you going to start up your business with $100 basically? So investors can, just like Dr. Alejuma said, investors can ask, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. this business has an impact on this and this, you have to bring all that as well. So I think I'm going to invest in it. So basically that's what we are looking for.
Also, let
So,
us know
Look,
if during the,
if I can come in.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I think you guys should try and be a bit realistic about what you are presenting. Number one, if that $100 can be increased so that you can give you a more lively environment of presenting a business idea.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. The present situation where central bank is offering people agricultural loan, was something somebody presented for over 5 years. He never knew it will come up, but he just said, go and do a presentation. How much do you do with, bring up any amount. Let us have an idea of how your business line could run. And the guy is making money because you can never know. Maybe somebody can present this somewhere and they will now say, okay, this idea looks good.
Yeah.
Can we sell it out? You can be called on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So whatever you do here is going to be on record. And personally, whoever idea is of more concern, if it's a business idea, you never can tell whether it can be sold to somebody.
Yeah.
And you can be called to come and practicalize it for them.
Yeah. So on that note, I'm thinking we should make the startup funds opened. And then it also means that the person would have to pitch how they intend to get the funds. I think, would they be going for loans? Would they be seeking other investors?
Exactly.
Yeah. What is your present fund that you have presently, and all that? Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So what do you guys feel about that? So no restrictions to the funding.
I think it's a very good one that we are, and it will make it more realistic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I hope that will not. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I would like if the details can be written out for us in the group chat.
Okay. I'll work on that. All right. So, like I said, please do your research. Let's see your financials. We don't make it very realistic. We don't just want you to say, okay, I want to start selling rice and beans, and I need money from you and all that. So let's have proper financials. Do your research. Check online. There are a lot of videos on pitch presentation on YouTube, and I trust you guys. You guys have shown me that you can do it, and you are, you guys you're champions already. You're champions.
You guys should make it real. I will bring a special guest who is a financial expert who will listen to you guys by the grace of God. And you can never tell. Thank you. I hope you heard me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So we are having a special guest next Saturday, and who knows, you might get investment money. So yeah. You know what? How about we have?
I was just telling Dewale that why don't we have everybody come in and present their pitch? We have Musa and Azana and Nora.
I would have loved that. I would have loved that.
Yes.
I would have loved that, but I don't think he's somebody that will have that kind of so much time. If it's something we can collate, I will presently present it to him, but let him first, even if you are going to do that, let him first see the three.
Yeah, the first three participants would,
He might even come up with a gift for you guys.
Yes.
And like I said, you can never tell. It could be a sellable idea.
Yes. Okay, so this is what we'll do. We have Khalid, Abib, and Lukman sell the idea, they present the ideas, and then after they are done, we'll have Nora, Musa, and Azana also present the ideas. Now, at the end of the day, the first winner will be chosen out of Lukman, Khalid, and Abib.
Musa.
They'll be given, but also be aware that Azana, Musa, and Nora too will be well compensated for their presentation.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How does that sound?
How does that sound, guys?
I'm sure Asana, Nora, and Musa were like, oh my days.
Musa,
Yeah, it
I'm waiting
sounds
to hear
good.
from you.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
That's fine. That's fine. So you guys to have a shot at a good presentation and at the prize.
Anyways,
Yeah.
you guys deserve it because all of you presented well today.
Yes.
So I mean, you need another shot at this thing. So I mean, let's have the. So we already know that Abib, Khalid, and Lukman are the final three for the Daytopia Champion championship, and then we can have Azana, Nora, and Musa present as well, and obviously they'll be rewarded.
Yes.
So thank you so much, guys.
Yes.
I hope. Anyways, you still will communicate to you on the full details,
yes.
and then you can.
Yeah,
an observation.
An observation.
Okay.
Yeah, Daytopia doesn't have a LinkedIn page yet, and we think it's something.
A LinkedIn page.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think.
Yeah. It's just that we don't have someone to run it at the moment because I'm quite busy. But I mean, if you guys want to, you guys can handle it. That's fine.
I can volunteer to handle it.
Yeah, Musa, you can do that.
That's great. We've had so much content over the last 4 weeks.
Yes.
So it would have been great for LinkedIn anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
please, at the end of the whole presentation, the whole pitch and everything, we'll also have the best pitch which will be posted on. So that means that Azana, Nora, and Musa still have a shot at delivering a very good pitch. Okay, guys, thank you very much, guys, for today. It's wonderful having you guys here. Wonderful, wonderful. Please pass our message because I think Nora is not here, so she knows that she still has to come next week and present. Okay, so the order of presentation would be Lukman will go first, then we have Khalid, and then we have Abib, who will be the third presenter. Then afterwards we have Azana, we have Nora, and then we have Musa. Okay, we'll send you the details of the whole thing, and then you guys can start working on it.
Yeah, so also as this is the final phase of the competition, we'll have the Zoom link open to the public. I don't know if you guys are fine with it or it will put more pressure on you so you don't want it. We are thinking that since it's the final stage, why not open it to people? So if you want to invite someone to watch you present or something, you can have the Zoom link. So it's not just Daytopia members. So let me know what you guys think about that, and then we can have it open to the public.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. It's nice having everyone here. Thank you very much. Professor Balajoko, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And she wishes everyone good luck. I'm sure she's going to be here next week because she also has to invest.
I hope you, as my helper, you have not given me money to invest.
Who knows? Nora might be opening a mental health hospital for, for ABU students.
Please, let me just say something. Don't make it open to everyone. There was a workshop I was in for about 6 days. Hey, what I was seeing in chat group was bad. I was even getting upset. I wasn't at the panel. I was in my house, but then no. So don't make it open because people can come and scatter the whole thing that you'll be building over the weeks or months. So, but they can, maybe you can allow them, the presenters, to invite 1 or 2 persons maximum. Don't make it up. The one what I experienced the last 6 days, funny at all.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. So just if you want to invite, you can invite your friend or family member that you would like.
And they should let those people they are inviting know that they shouldn't just share the link.
Oh yeah.
Just share the link.
Azia, it's nice to see you here. Nice to have you. I like people that, despite the fact that they are still keeping in touch and learning from the whole process. That's good. Nice to see you. All right, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations once again, Abib, Khalid, and Lukman. And looking forward to a great presentation, the final presentation from 3 of you guys next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. don't leave that.
Khalid, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Dewale was telling me to tell you guys about data allowance. So you guys would receive your data allowance, and then you get in touch with every other. Azana, you get
Okay.
in touch with Nora, Musa, and other guys.
All right.
All right.
So you,
Thanks.
Thank you.
yeah, you contact you.
All right. Habib, you don't tell the duties. Yeah, man. Should we ask him about this? Should we ask him about this?
Who is it? If he has something about it, call us now.